What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey back out with another Chris Watts video, and this one is definitely the one that really ticks us off the most because Chris Watts' mistress, obviously NK, has deleted messages. We know this already. They weren't able to retrieve all of them, but the way that she talks about it in the interview, which we're about to watch, this alone should make Nichol Kessinger not a victim, but a conspiracy to commit murder or a conspiracy to help in this situation. And we're going to watch it together just so we can exploit Miss Nichol Kessinger even more as we try to every single time we watch these videos. We're watching from a YouTube channel called Maybelline Rose. Make sure you guys go over to her channel, subscribe, comment, like, and share. You know the deal. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel by hitting that whiteboard icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so very much for the love and support and all the messages letting me know that Chris Watts is getting married. I already knew. I don't care that he's getting married. I think it's wrong that he's getting married. The man should be single and in his cell and not be able to do anything at all. And pretty much have the autopsy photos in his room so he can look at them and see what he did to his family. But again, because everybody comes to me, they're like, Zwolky, did you hear he's getting married? I know. I've known for months now. But let's get into this video. Nichol Kessinger's interview, a closer look into the Chris Watts mistress's deleted messages. Let's take a look. Okay, so for those that cannot see, I'm going to be happy to oblige and I'm going to read these. Text between Charolette N, which is Nichole's best friend, and CBI agent Galbraith, part 1. Where's the part 2? I thanked blank for her time, and she agreed to send me screenshots of her text with Kessinger. Not all of them, because a lot of them were thrown away. And why were they thrown away? Because Nichol Kessinger told her to get rid of everything. Why would that be the case? Blank promptly got back with me on 9/6/2018 to provide. Hi, Agent Galbraith. This is Charolette. I think it's Charolette Nelson, I think. I'm looking through my phone, and the latest text messages I have from NK start on August 21st. That's a cop-out. They were way into June, July, and beginning of August. And we mostly talked about my dad passing away and my family issues, and that she is concerned with the media. I probably deleted the whole conversation with Nikki, or when Nikki asked me to delete pictures we have together on Facebook because the media was calling her friends to get information. I know about the text messages we talked about because yesterday evening I got your voicemail, and when Nikki came over later that night, I told her you had called and that I wanted to verify that it was actually the CBI calling me and not some scammer trying to get information. I asked her why you would be calling me, and she said it could be because of the text messages or the text we exchanged, and then she showed me. Showed you what? I'm sorry I don't have any messages before that. Would you like me to still send you everything starting on August 21st? Also, I left you a voicemail regarding a question I have. My question is if the text messages you have are going to be made public matter. I shared very personal information about mine and my boyfriend's intimate life, and I am concerned about what will be released. Please let me know or call me for any questions. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for things that you talked about with NK about Chris. Oh, like you said, he's got kids. That's good, I guess. So we're going to whoop it here. Okay. Whoop.
And I don't know when that was. That was definitely when things were going good. So this is
This is part 1. This is the part 2. Okay. Text between Charlotte and NK's best friend and CBI agent Galbraith, part 2. I responded, stand by on text from the 24th or 21st. Let me consult my partner. Thank you for getting back on this matter. On 9/7/2018, I attempted to clarify this with Charlotte. I asked her why you would be calling me, and she said it because of the text we exchanged, and then she showed me. Showed you what? I texted Charlotte and called her. The phone went straight to voicemail like it was off. On 9/7/2018, Charlotte responded, show me the old text messages on her phone the night before last when she was here at my house. We had went to Verizon earlier on that same day so she could get a new phone since the one she had wasn't working well. Of course it didn't. Of course it didn't. It must be that the messages were backed up and transferred over to the new phone. Ooh.
Like weeks prior.
The coincidences are just ridiculous.
This is
We talk a lot.
August 7th.
Yeah.
The missing text messages between NK and her friend Charlotte are from Sunday, August 7th. So that is even a lie. What she said, oh, I don't have any text messages. She had messages. They were deleted. Some of them came in, some of them didn't. During which time Chris Watts was on his way back to Colorado with his family after their visit to North Carolina.
So I reference everything to Sunday the 12th.
Well, that is fuzzy, or is it just me?
The family conversation.
1080p. There we go. Okay. So it was just the computer. Okay, let's see here. Okay, August 7th, 5:17, Shanann told Addie, Chris told me last night he's scared to death about the third baby. He's happy with just Bella. Doesn't want another baby when he's the one that wanted it. Addie confronted her. Watts is just scared. Everything will be fine once the baby's born. Shanann replied, he has changed. I don't know who he is anymore. Addie asked what she meant, and she replied, he hasn't touched me in all week, kissed me, talked to me, etc. He's been distant since I left. Right here, later in the conversation, Shanann told Addie, I told him last night I don't feel safe with him after what he said about the baby. And if he loves me, he would hold me and tell me it will be okay. Give me something, and he did nothing but go to bed. I wish she would have went with her gut. I wish she would have. And then you know what's funny is we see all these text messages from Shanann to her friends, from Shanann to Chris, from Chris to his people. But when it comes to NK, we barely see jack crap. We see that she's called how many different times, but we don't see any of her messages besides vaguely here and there. Jim, on the same day of August 7th, calls NK for 1 minute. And then Shanann texts Chris Watts that night, or that afternoon. Something else is wrong that you're not saying, because lack of communication doesn't cause you to not be present or touch me or love me. Besides, the lack of communication hasn't been with me in 6 weeks. This blank sucks. I really don't want to leave here. She wanted to stay in North Carolina. At that time, NK makes a 1 minute phone call to North Glen Police Department. Why? Why did NK call North Glen Police Department for 1 minute? Chris gets a flight reminder that he's leaving on 5/10. Shanann texts a friend. Shanann tells a friend Chris Watts just rejected her after she tried to have blank with him. Watts' phone connects to their home router when he gets home. With Netgear router, likely the router in their home.
Like that
She should have stuck with her gut. Even Sandy Rusek, she told Shanann to stay. And then Shanann said, oh, he's got great health insurance. Shanann texted Chris the following. Something else is wrong. You're not saying because the lack of communication. I really don't want to leave here. Shanann knew something was wrong and no longer trusted Chris. She didn't want to leave North Carolina and had told her friends she didn't want him staying with her and the girls when they got back to Colorado. Oh, man.
There shouldn't really be anything on it.
She didn't think that Chris had it in him.
You guys can just pull everything off that one.
As long as you're okay with that, would be my
if that
preference.
makes your life easier.
It's not just about
Why did she call the police department?
making it easier, it's just less. So if there's any question, like I told you before, like the two girls you just met did a lot of interviews in this case. They've done a lot of work. They may know things that I don't. There's no way we can all know everything. So they might go, oh, because somebody else was the one who told me about Charlotte. And this.
Someone else told him about Charlotte. So he figured out about Charlotte and then said, okay, I need to know about Charlotte.
Message. So I've never read
that's
this.
probably why.
Potentially,
I'm assuming that that's what that is.
Listen closely. And the audio is kind of terrible with the music in the background, so I do apologize, guys. Listen closely. NK says, because I said his name. Admitting that she has already told Charlotte Chris's name, which is why the other agents brought Charlotte to the attention of Agent Kobach. So the other interviews? But who else was talking to NK besides Kobach in the beginning?
Because I said his name. And I don't even think she's put two and two together. Because last night it was just like the way she was talking. She wasn't like, this is him, this is it. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I just assume this is it because this guy worked at Anadarko, but she is not even like processing. What is occurring?
This text between NK and Charlotte was not included in the discovery. Kobach asked Nichol what she means by the following. Can you tell he has a lot to take care of in life? Is that a question? Oh, can you tell he has a lot to take care of in life? Why would she say it like that?
What do you mean by can tell he has a lot to take care of in life? What did you mean when you said that?
He has a mortgage and he has kids.
Okay.
Responsibility.
And a wife. Look at her little smug.
Father with a house.
You're even saying in here he's all about his kids.
Yeah. And she was like asking me somewhere in there, like.
Kind of is a good thing, I think.
I mean, everything I had to say about him at that point was like really positive. Like, I think I made it clear that I wasn't like 100% sure this was like the man of my dreams and I was going to spend the rest of my life with him or
You were obsessed with him, Nichol. You know it.
anything, but I was enjoying the time that I was spending with him at that point.
You're referring.
Kobach summarizes NK's text. You're referring that he has 2 kids and then you don't like that because you want to have that experience with somebody else the first time.
Seeing that he has 2 kids and then you don't like that because you want to have that experience with somebody else? Is that what?
I just said I wasn't sure if he was the one that I wanted to be with because he had already like done everything.
Okay.
Like I was like, it would be really nice to kind of like kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff.
I just feel like I'll always be second place because you are. Like he's been there, done that. He has. Besides the stuff you Googled, we're not going to get into it. It's early though. We will see. He is very kind to me though.
No, it was never anything like
This is the day before the murders. Charlotte didn't say anything about talking the day before the murders, nor did NK.
to him.
So you said he's handsome, huh? Did you send her a picture?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not attached here. Is that because you think from what you
I think
deleted?
it's when I deleted all my photos.
And this would have been when Chris is at the birthday party, because it's at 2 o'clock, roughly.
Of his stuff.
He's kind of short.
I mean, I talked to her in a way that I wouldn't like talk to him with like my girl, you know what I'm saying? It's
I get it.
different.
No, I'm just
It's
teasing,
very,
I'm just
like-
teasing you a little bit.
So I'm guessing this one right here, it's on the paper, is her normal phone because it's got a phone case on it. So I'm guessing this phone is the one that transferred, but you don't always get everything transferred. I've had things missing when I've transferred phones here and there when I get a new one. And then also, why else would you take your phone and put it down? A lot of the time it's because you want to protect the screen, but then you don't want things to come through and people to see it.
So now you're just talking about shoes and... Okay.
Throughout the interview, NK continuously refers to the murders of Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico as that case.
I think she
So-
brought it up again last night, but she didn't
Brought
like,
up what?
okay, but she didn't like connect the dots. She was like freaking out.
Why would Charlotte be freaking out?
She was really
Got
upset.
a-
She wanted me to come see her on Saturday because it's his
So
week.
unexpected.
Kind of, sort of. He had Parkinson's, so kind of, but not. You know what I'm saying? It was a very
Mhm.
drawn out thing. But she's having a really hard time with it. I knew she would, and she's like, can you make the wake on Saturday? And I was like, I'm really hesitant to leave the house, and I didn't tell her that, but I was like, I don't know, I'll try, and I'm gonna go, but I'm not gonna tell her until it's like right before I have to be there. And
So
she
what does
started
she
freaking
reference
out.
Just
I'll
is
just-
Chris the guy? I'm more interested
No, she
in...
didn't even ask me if she was just like, she's like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, you can see it.
Okay. So you mentioned on your text before you were coming that there was other information that you thought of that was important again?
Yeah.
More info?
Yeah, when you get so sidetracked.
I'll look at this, will you do that? And then
I'll show you where it is.
Yeah,
There's
show
so
me where it is.
much in here. Like, I will just say,
you guys talk a lot.
oh yeah. She is like not right here. So first she sends me this, and she's not even asking me about him. She's saying he looks like her ex. That's when she first brings him up.
Take note and keep in mind, NK says once again that Charlotte hasn't connected the dots and probably doesn't even realize the guy on the news is the same guy NK has been seeing.
She doesn't even mention me at that point. I don't even think she realizes it's the same guy. Like, legitimately. I think this girl is so wrapped up in all the stuff that she's got going on right now that I don't think it's even processing. I mean, you can just tell tell by the way that she, like, talks.
I feel like she's downplaying this.
You know, she's all upset because I asked her to not talk to the media.
Why would Charlotte be upset if she doesn't connect the dots that the guy that she's with is the murderer guy? Why would Charlotte be upset or scared for Nichol? If Charlotte hadn't connected the dots before now, wouldn't she question why NK is telling her not to speak to the media about the guy on the news? Exactly. That's
And it happened to be the day that her dad died, and I'm sitting here trying to comfort her.
Is this your best friend?
Yes. This girl is like my whole world.
But you're not talking about children or your relationship with Chris or anything like that?
No, the only time I ever mentioned him was like that one day.
Okay.
And I didn't even remember that I even had like said that to her.
What's her phone number?
720-425-7330.
So I'm not going to call her, but at some point you might want to talk to her, just so you know. I mean, sooner or later she's going to connect the dots, or you're going to tell her, right?
why not talk to her? Why does he say, oh, we're not going to talk to her, but I just want her phone number? So we didn't talk to Jim. We didn't talk to Charlotte, but yet we're going to talk to Shanann's friends? We're going to talk to Chris Watts' coworkers, but we're not going to talk to Nichol and her friends? And then one of the friends, she says, leave him alone? How does this make sense?
She's your best friend.
I'm not going to tell her. If she figures it out, she figures it out.
Okay.
But then NK has asked Charlotte not to make any comments to the media. That means there's something that she doesn't want out.
If we were going to talk to her, I'd let you know beforehand. Is that fair?
Yeah, just like her.
But then how does the media know that Charlotte was Nichole's friend? She would have had to have a Facebook or an Instagram or something that somebody got wind of.
So tell me about the new info that you remember.
Okay, see right here, hold on. She says, look man, I know you work at Anadarko, he did too. I know he murdered his wife and kids. I know he was a dog. I know you're my best friend. I know you have a good heart. I know that that guy needs to go to jail and he will. I know you don't want publicity and neither would I. I know that as a witness, if you say anything.
I know that as a witness, if you say anything, it can cause a mistrial. I know you don't want that either. What? Alrighty, so the reasons why you wouldn't want a witness, which she's a witness to what? She didn't witness anything. That's why I still don't understand. But it can cause a mistrial, and she knows she doesn't want that because, one, it could be emotional and procedural burden of a retrial, time and disruption, witness availability and credibility, reluctance to testify again. Some witnesses may become increasingly reluctant or hesitant to participate in a second trial, especially if the experience was stressful or they feel the repercussions. Psychological impact. For some, a mistrial can leave the case in limbo, hindering the ability to achieve a sense of closure or to move on, which that could be one. In essence, while mistrials serve to protect the fairness of the legal process, they can impose significant burdens and challenges on witnesses, leading them to prefer a swift and definite resolution, whether it be a conviction or acquittal.
It can cause a mistrial. I know you don't want that, neither do I. Fuck the media, I want my best friend here. I never fucking said anything to her.
Okay.
So,
But
see, look, she goes, I don't even care if you flirted with him or more. I know you had nothing to do with what happened, and I don't care if your job is having an open investigation. I'm not going to ask you a single question. question, but my pops died and you're my best friend.
Okay.
And I said, please stop talking about that. And she said, what are you on house arrest? And she just keeps saying, my father died.
Charlotte asks NK, what are you on house arrest? What does she know about NK that would prompt her to ask a question like that? That is an interesting catch.
What the fuck? She was not okay last night, and I was just trying to, like,
Understandable.
mitigate this.
But NK keeps silencing Charlotte about the whole ordeal. She's like, stop talking about it. Enough. I don't want to talk about it.
And I was like trying to calm her down, and I said, Charlotte, I'm trying so hard to be the best friend of Candy right now. I said, I want to talk to you about that case. I didn't say the case, I said that case, like I wasn't even affiliated with it.
Like I wasn't even affiliated with it at all. You were. I love how you're Chase is. I can't wait to see you again. Did I throw up? Yes, I did.
At all, I need to respect that. If you want to your dad, and then
But what's really,
freaking out, I'm freaking
you
out.
guys never had a conversation except for this past text messages about Chris and his children.
No, that was it. That was it.
That's fine.
I mean, because he wasn't really something that I like super wanted everybody to know about, and I shouldn't have.
Is NK forgetting about her conversation with another friend of hers in June of 2018? She supports me, but her parents were in a situation like when she was a kid and it came up. It won't bother me. I'm not going to stop seeing you.
Mentioned it, but she probably she had nothing going on sexually with her fiance, and it happened. But at that
You
point,
guys are best friends. I understand.
yeah, she keeps trying to talk about it.
If you were not under investigation by the police, or wait, Charlotte texts NK, if you're not under investigation by the police, I don't care. Why would you say that?
Then you're not under investigation.
That's why I want to talk to you guys. Like, what do you interpret that as? If you're not under investigation by the police, I don't care. I want to know your thoughts, please.
I don't care. Why can't you just make it a best friend with father's death? Stop. She just like, yeah, and she just freaking out. Finally, getting mad at me.
NK responds with, getting mad at me isn't going to bring your death. Oh.
And that.
Well, how long is the witness protection housing list then, woman? Sir, this is not a Section 8 housing authority office, okay? Y'all can do them pop-up visits whenever y'all want, man. I got $3 for the rent, too. The witness protection program is not the same as Section 8, all right? Now, please step back away from the desk, sir. There you are. I don't need the food stamps. I just need the protection. Hey, bro, why are you tripping? Because snitches get stitches, you big BBW, thick-ass glasses wearing.
Was she afraid that Charlotte was going to snitch? That definitely looks like how it looks. Let me know your guys' thoughts, your opinions, and so forth. I definitely value them very much. It does sound like NK did not want Charlotte snitching, and was trying to quiet Charlotte down, trying to get her to not be looked at either. There was not actually a formal interview or anything like that. And it's shocking that all these other people, I mean, Shanann and her friends were interviewed on the phone. Chris Watts had interviews with his people, a couple friends, and then his parents and so forth. But then you have Nichol, which is pretty much the third piece to this. None of the people that she had in her life were talked, questioned, or even looked at. They left them alone. Why? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, share with your friends. Don't forget to go over to her channel. Link is in the description. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe. And as always, keep nerding on. And we'll see you guys in that next video.